I'm Mark Chalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today, I have the pleasure of presenting you an absolutely magnificent 1976 Chevrolet Cosworth Vega with 335 original miles. The video today is going to be to go over some of the interior and to do a driving video so you get a sense of how this vehicle starts and how it drives. But before I do so, let me touch a little bit on the Cosworth Vega deal. This vehicle is number 3402. Originally, when Chevrolet was producing these vehicles, which was between 1975 and 1976, they were going to build 5,000. Only 3,508 were actually produced. They were all going to be black, which is what they were in 1975. In 1976, they decided to come out with some different colors. And from what I've gathered from the Cosworth Vega's Owners Association, they made about 625 to 650 in different colors. Also, from the information I gathered from the association, about 50 cars were actually painted green. And one of two, which this is the one, had black interior. So this car in itself is a really, really rare car. The Cosworth Vega is one of the most least produced Chevrolets of all time, actually less than the 63 Corvette split window, believe it or not. So it's definitely something, if you don't know much about, you got to learn about. This car has great documentation. It's got limited ownership history. It still has the original window sticker attached to the window. It's never been removed. Again, with 335 miles on it, it's like being inside of a brand new car. So to touch a little bit on the interior of this car, it is in flawless condition. It feels like I'm sitting in a brand new vehicle. The headliner is absolutely like new. All the sun visors. The dash is free of any cracking or any imperfections whatsoever. The front fascia of the dash is beautiful. All the gauges are crystal clear. The steering wheel is new. The shifter's like new. The door panel's like new. The seats are new. The carpeting. In the report letter that John did for me, the president of the association, he commented that this is the nicest original interior he's ever seen. Again, he made multiple comments as far as it being matching numbers and things like that. That letter is actually included within our description, so you got to make sure to check that out. Back to some of the functionality of the interior. When you open the door, the buzzer comes on, the dome light comes on, the horn's in working order, all of the gauges are in working order. The clock does not work. I'm assuming that it probably burned out over time. Keep in mind this vehicle is a 1976. All of the dash hardware is in like new condition. Everything works from the heat to the lights, the radio. One thing I'll make a comment on as far as the radio is concerned, you have to turn the radio all the way up to actually hear the sound because the speaker is actually bad in the car. We attached a speaker when we serviced the vehicle from another vehicle, and the music played the way it should, so we know it's the speaker. We just didn't want to put an aftermarket speaker back in the car. So the new owner will have to find an original or NOS or some type of speaker to put back in there, after the purchase. But everything, again, in the interior is in working order. This car starts great. It drives great. We have accumulated some miles on the car during our service process. We've actually gotten it up on the highway around 60, 70 miles an hour. One thing about these cars that have really low miles on them, they need to be kind of sorted out because they're essentially new vehicles that just kind of hung around for a long time. So we definitely have kind of done a preliminary sorting out of the car. And as we mentioned in our other videos that we took of this vehicle, which if you have not watched, please watch them. It's a startup video of the engine running, a little bit of information again, and then we also did a walk-around presentation video, which shows not only the original paint being tested with a paint meter, but it also shows some of the documentation, and it also shows the original wheels and tires, which are included. Currently on the car right now are essentially lookalikes, but they're not the original ones that this car actually had when it was new. Those are included and pictured in that video that I just mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and start the car. which it starts every time instantly, idles exactly where it should. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just take it around this parking lot here at the Seekonk Speedway. Keep in mind that this parking lot is kind of on a downward slope. There's a lot of bumps in the pavement here and stuff. But even with all that being said, this vehicle really handles excellent. It drives excellent. It doesn't have any rattles. It really feels like a vehicle with 335 miles. And I do have to make note that the car now does have 337 miles on it because we've been driving it since we did our last couple of videos. So I'm going to go ahead and take off here and just go around the parking lot a few times. I'm not going to be able to get up a lot of speed here, but enough speed so you can clearly see. Hopefully these seagulls make their way around the vehicle. I'm keeping it in second gear only because I don't really have a lot of space here, but as we make our way back down, I'll shift it into third. Like I said, no rattles. The steering is really nice and tight. Everything's working as it should. I'll kind of do a shift here into third gear. Back down to second gear. Again, it really just performs beautifully. What I'll do is I'll come to a stop here just to kind of show you how it brakes. It really stops nicely. And putting it in reverse, goes in reverse fine. Again, just a super example of a 1976 Cosworth Vega with 338 miles now. Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for watching.